Hello there. I've been sick the last couple of weeks. You may still hear it in my voice, you may not. I've got a little thing in my mouth trying to keep this pain to a minimum, but basically I came down with viral tonsillitis. There's sores all over my throat. It's really painful to talk and eat, but I had to come in here and make some comments on the debate that happened last night. I'm going to make some comments tomorrow and probably do a whole show tomorrow if I'm well enough. On the debate that happens tonight, in which Bernie will be there, obviously my favored candidate at this juncture. And but let's just talk about last night, because last night was not good. It was actually pretty bad. So the highlights of the evening were Dueling Spanish, which was just an utter cringe fest. I mean, there's a meme going around where Beto starts speaking Spanish and Booker and Warren just look to him like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And Booker was probably doing that because he was like, "I wanted to speak Spanish first, you know." But I think 3 of them ended up speaking Spanish. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously. Then there was this Tim Ryan guy who I guess nobody knew about going into it. People were just like, who? Who? Like, no, I didn't know he was in the election. I have no idea who this guy is. I didn't even make an effort to memorize which state he's from, because he committed election suicide on air by backing the Afghanistan conflict, strangely. And I was totally taken aback by that. I was like, do you know what party you're running in? Do you know what stage you're on? Like, are you serious? You're about to get eaten alive, dude. Booker, of course, was probably the worst in terms of rhetoric. He was consistently avoiding policy and saying, you know, we need to dare to dream in this country. We need to understand that our values have meaning. Our values matter. And it's just like, name your fucking policy. And the problem is, of course, the reason he fails to be bold on policy, especially on healthcare, where he consistently flounders, is because he's taking money from the pharma industry. You know, he's taking money from investments in banking industry and, you know, real estate and Hollywood, etc. He's taking money from every which way. One of the worst offenders on this line. And unsurprisingly, on guns, he gets super bold suddenly. He's like the most bold one in there. He wants a fucking gun buyback program, which is utterly insane in the United States, by the way. Look, I'm for gun control. Listen, I support a universal background check. I support a thorough background check. I support probably a ban on high-capacity magazines. I'm basically there. I don't know if it's totally necessary, but I don't see why not. Like, I get that. But a gun buyback program in the United States, as far as I'm concerned, is just a silly idea. There are way too many guns in this country for that to be feasible. I don't know. I just don't like the idea. I don't care for it. I think it's a waste of money. I don't think it'll really do that much of a have that much of an effect. So just not in favor of it. But suddenly Booker is the biggest, you know, most boldest guy in the field when it comes to guns. And why is that? Because he's not taking money from the gun industry. He's taking money from pharma, so he's not going to be the guy who's like really thoroughly pushing single payer. It needs to be single payer that will cover psychological care, it'll cover dental care, it'll cover, you know, no, he's not going to do that because he's in their pocket. You know, he's like, look, I want to take a step-by-step approach and take those, you know, important steps in between and finally get there. Of course, my goal in the long run is Medicare for all. That is the gold standard, but we have to take a step-by-step incrementalist approach on this. No, we don't. Fuck you. Get off the stage, buddy. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. And the sad part is, you look at during the debate's search results, and Booker was actually the second most searched person. What? Tulsi was actually the most searched candidate during the debate, and I'm really happy about that. But honestly, it comes as a surprise to me, if I'm totally honest with you. As I tweeted when the event was starting, Tulsi was the one that I was primarily rooting for on that night. Obviously, I tend to feel okay about Warren. I think as far as the corporate wing goes, she's the best one, but I do consider her part of the corporate wing. I don't fully trust her. Her record on especially the military-industrial complex, is mixed. It's very, very mixed, and she has some problems. Okay, call it like I see it. She has some major problems, and I just don't know if I trust her. Certainly not on the same level that I trust Bernie. And Tulsi, she has a mixed record as well, but I think her statements on the military-industrial complex and the wars are very strong. She's basically made that her singular kind of issue, her very main focus. And she's economically populist as well, but there was one part in the night where she everyone raise your hands if you would ban private insurance. I assume they mean private, like core private insurance, and only have like a Medicare for all system. And she did not raise her hand. Tulsi did not raise her hand. Only 2 people did. I believe that was Warren, which good. Warren is learning her lesson. And I think de Blasio raised his hand. I think that was the other person. But overall, I actually thought Tulsi underperformed this night. She had some really good responses. She would not be pinned down on the LGBT question, which was a very hacky question. But overall, I think some of her responses were kind of weak. I think she waffled on language a little bit, and she kind of stuttered a few times. She just wasn't as good a public speaker as some of the other people, but her messaging was very strong, and her condemnation of the military-industrial complex was very strong. And apparently, she was the most searched candidate during the debate, so that's impressive. They didn't even let her talk that much, and she was the most searched. So very impressive. But overall, I kind of thought she underperformed, if I'm being honest with you. The person who definitely overperformed, and I was honestly kind of blown away at times by, was Bill de Blasio. I don't know very much about this character. He's, the mayor of New York City? But de Blasio, he had some very populist rhetoric. It was like Bernie 2.0 up there. I mean, he was just straight ripping Bernie's platform from 2016. I mean, just copy-pasting. And some of his statements were very strong. He was very strong on the healthcare issue. He was very strong on, just about every issue that came up. He was nailing it. He was nailing it to the wall. Just like bam, 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 hitting them again and again. The only one cringy moment out of him is they asked everybody, what's the greatest threat to America? And his answer was Russia. And I was like, come on, you've been doing so good, man. You've been doing so good. And to their credit, I think that was the only time Russia was mentioned in the entire debate. Or there might have been one other time, but I think once or twice in the whole debate, Russia was mentioned. And I was impressed by that. I was like, oh, the Dems are finally figuring it out. That is not a winning issue. That's like a really fucking stupid line, and you need to cut that shit out. And apparently only 2 people mentioned it. And one of them was de Blasio, and it was a shame because the rest of the night, he was fucking killing it. He was killing it. And the closing statements, his closing statement was also very good. So pretty impressed by de Blasio overall. I don't know, genuinely, I don't know his record. So I don't know if, I'm not signing off on the guy. Look, Bernie is still my number 1. But overall, kind of impressed by him. I'm gonna be watching him in the polls, seeing how he's performing. But, let me know more if you're in New York, if you know more about this guy, if you know his record, whether or not he's a genuine progressive, please comment down below. I'm going to be doing some more research, but I appreciate your comments if you help me out with that. The other elephant in the room of the night was John Delaney and how just effing bad he was. This guy was trying to lose. It was sad. And Klobuchar, too. That needs to be mentioned. Klobuchar was really, really failing. It seemed like every time people wanted to get genuinely progressive, and there were a lot of people, honestly, like even Beto and Booker at times, they were coming off very progressive. The whole field was basically trying to play catch up on Bernie and basically steal all of his ideas from the past election and basically like, I'm progressive. I'm one of you. I'm one of you guys. But Delaney and Klobuchar was like, actually, hold on there. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. The most important thing, folks, the most important thing is that we get things done. I just want to get things done. I want to pass stuff, okay? And if we have to work with the Republicans, that's okay. That's important. We have to be able to cross the aisle. We have to be able to build consensus. And I hate this line. I hate this line. You need to go into this like you are at fucking war with the opposition because, newsflash, you are. The Republicans are absurd. disgustingly wrong on almost every single issue. There's like maybe 1 or 2 issues where they have a point, and the rest of the issues, they're stuck in the 1950s, or they're just like out in, you know, nearing fascist territory. I mean, they're disgustingly wrong on so many issues. You don't work with these people. You crush them. You crush them. You defeat them. You dominate them. You destroy them. Okay? You build consensus on our side and get all the Democrats on the same board, and then you surpass them. You get more Democrats in office, and if you have a consensus on the Democrat side, you pass whatever the fuck you want and say fuck you to the Republicans. Get rid of the filibuster. Pass it on a fucking 51 vote majority, okay? 51%, that's all you need, and then you got it. Fuck the Republicans. Fuck them. Okay, that's what you need to be running on, because they are not looking to negotiate. They just want to stop you from doing anything. Healthcare, can't do anything. Raising wages in this country, can't do anything. Regulating the rich and the corporations, can't do anything. Ending the wars, nope, not happening. That's all they are. They're just a fuck you party. They're just a we can't do anything you want party. That's all they do. So you don't work with them, you crush them, you defeat them, you dominate them. Anyone who comes on this stage wanting to work with them, you're out. End of the discussion, you're out. I won't have you. No one's going to vote for you. Democrats sure as hell aren't going to fucking vote for you. So Klobuchar, you just committed election suicide. John Delaney, you just committed election suicide. Fuck the both of you. I don't fucking want to hear one word from you the rest of this election. I want you to get the fuck out of my face. And fucking Klobuchar, her closing statements had to be one of the worst. Had to be one of the worst. And I'm so glad that she answered the one question that was on our minds. I will govern with integrity. Yeah, we were all wondering that. Yeah, that's the big question that God, you know, I wake up in a cold sweat and I just have to wonder, if Klobuchar wins the presidency, is she going to govern with integrity or will she not? I don't fucking care. You know, we'll see how much integrity you have based on the issues that you're running on, based on, you know, are you taking corporate money? Are you doing their bidding? Or are you thumbing your nose at them and getting on board with the policies that really help the American people? That's how we judge integrity. We judge what side you've been on from the fucking beginning. And newsflash, it ain't on our side. It's not. Okay? You're one of the worst of the worst of the worst. And you're also just disgustingly vapid. You have nothing to say. And that goes double for John Delaney. Fuck that guy. So both of them, you're excommunicado. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. And of course, the main course of the night was word salad. It was just word salad all over the place. Beto O'Rourke, word salad. Spanish word salad. You know, Julian Castro apparently is getting a lot of press after this event. Why? The only issue he had policy on was immigration. They all seem to have really good policy on immigration. That's because they're not taking money to be against that. You know, on guns, they're all pretty strong on guns because they're not taking money against that. The rest of the issues, I don't know. Public option, maybe. I think a public option is the reasonable way to go. I think we need to take a step-by-step approach, and then whenever I get in office, I'm of course going to cave on public option, and we'll do maybe a Medicare expansion, or we'll just protect the ACA, and that's the end of the story. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired of you being as strong as can be on the issues that you are taking no risks on. You're not risking millions of dollars on, while at the same time tempering our expectations on the issues that you are taking fucking money on. And almost everyone on that stage was taking money from the pharma companies. Almost everyone on that goddamn stage. So the night was, I mean, most of these candidates, they did fucking horrible. They did fucking horrible. Beto O'Rourke did absolutely horrible. Fuck this character. Julian Castro, you know, I don't care about your personal stories. I don't care. Fucking shut up with those personal stories. What is your policies? Booker obviously did just shitty as can be. Some of the most vapid, soulless, useless language that I've ever seen. He's a great speaker. He's so flowery. He's so, that's Obama 2.0. I'm just not on that. I don't care. I don't care how well you can speak. I care how well you can govern. Can you pass legislation? Are you on the right side? And I genuinely don't know with most of these people. The only characters on that stage that came off the remotest, genuine in their populist rhetoric was de Blasio, Tulsi, and Warren. That's basically it. Inslee got some good moments, like, you know, Inslee's hitting very hard on climate change, and look, that's nice. Again, most of these candidates are not taking money from fracking companies or fossil fuel companies. It's easy. It's easy to jump on that issue for you because you're not taking money from them. So, you know, Inslee, credit to where it's due on the climate change issue and a couple of other issues he was pretty strong on. But overall, he's just kind of a boring character. He's not a very good speaker. And he does this like weird lip thing. Totally not important. But yeah, most of these characters just did so poorly. So poorly. This night was really bad. I think tonight is going to be better because as much as I hate him, Joe Biden tends to be a better centrism salesman than most of these other characters. You know, Beto is like boring and bland, and every time he talks, people's like eyes roll back in their heads. It's kind of the same for Booker. It's kind of the same for Julian Castro, and a lot of these people. But Biden somehow he gets those centrists energized, and I don't know why. I don't know why, because obviously his policy platform is horrendous. He's one of the worst, but he's just better at selling that garbage. And obviously Bernie is going to just bring down the house. He's going to bring down the house tonight. You got Yang on the stage. He's, you know, a wild card. You know, he's a pretty great speaker. His issues are phenomenal for the most part. Most of them I disagree with on some things, but I think that I really hope to see Yang and Bernie just kind of like strengthening each other and riffing off each other and just like hitting Biden again and again. Just like, you know, Bernie goes in for one punch, Yang goes in for the uppercut, and they're kind of like double teaming him. That's what I want to see. I really want to see that. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I want to see that. Who else? Oh, fucking Pete Buttigieg. He's going to get eaten like lunch tonight. He's going to be eaten like fucking lunch. And I really hope that's what happens. But, yeah, I mean, he'll probably be the Beto of the night, essentially. But really excited to see what happens tonight because, you know, America's dad's going to be in there finally. And hopefully we get to see some strong jabs coming out against Biden and knocking him off his fucking high horse, you know, showing him, hey, you're not Teflon Don, motherfucker. You're coming down. You know, you may have started up top of the hill, but you're not going to be there for long, son. You're going to tumble and tumble and tumble downwards. So hopefully tonight will be more interesting. Last night was just a snooze fest. But those are basically my takeaways of the night, and hope you enjoyed this. I'm trying to get well. Hopefully I can do a full show tomorrow and really break down some of these segments in detail. So yeah, just kind of updating you where I've been and letting you know my thoughts. But take it easy, everybody. Have an excellent debate night, and I'll be on Twitter, by the way, tweeting the entire night. I am absolutely savage. You know, sometimes I may go a little harder than the candidates probably deserve, but hey, these are public figures. These are politicians. They need to come to us. They need to impress us, and if we're not being impressed, then you have every right to be savage with these people, okay? Especially the ones that are taking ridiculous amounts of money to look the other way when predatory corporations are fucking you and your families. So yeah, I'll see you on Twitter, and I'll see you tomorrow in hopefully tomorrow's show, assuming I'm feeling a little better. It took everything I had to come out here and just do this, so take it easy.